Bring the action.
I'm Joan Palacio and I'm going to report the two topics during the execution phase. The first one is the document the work results. Alam naman natin yung results are the outcome or the outputs of the activities being performed to accomplish a certain project. Sa project na yun, meron kasing information doon kung saan nagpo-provide sila ng input, kung saan makikita yung kung na-meet ba nila yung objectives ng project na yun, kung nakompleto ba yung project na yun o hindi. At saka doon pumapasok yung cost, kung magkano ba yung lahat-lahat na nagastos para sa pag-accomplish ng project na yun. Punta naman tayo sa applying and documenting organizational policies. Dito na pumapasok yung documented work results, kung saan yung mga data doon, yung mga valuable data doon sa work results na yun, is kailangan ma-collect para dito sa agency performance reporting process. Lahat kasi ng agencies, nagre-request sila ng development projects na merong formal and informal policies, kung saan pwede siyang maka-apekto dun sa project plan execution. Project plan execution may also lead to the realization of the need for new policies or alteration of existing policies. Sa project execution kasi, dito makikita kung kailangan ba ng bagong policies or kung makikita yung kung may alteration bang nangyari doon sa existing policies. Lahat ng consideration sa bagong policies na yun or alteration sa existing policies is kailangan ma-document para sa execution phase and reviewed for implementation.
So, I'm Hazel E. Malikiam, and my report is all about procurement executing the procurement management plan. So, pag sinabing procurement, it is the act of obtaining or purchasing products. So, kumbaga, pagkuha or pagpili ng product and services. So, bakit kailangan pagplanuhan yung pag-procure ng product and services? Una, syempre, pinagplanuhan kung yung management ba ay may budget sa pagbili ng mga certain items. So, once na yung management may kakayahan na bilhin yung mga certain products or services, doon mo malalaman na the operation of the project will continue. Tapos, syempre, kailangan din yung bibilhin nila na product or items, pinaplaplanuhan din. Kailangan angkop dun sa scope nila, tsaka angkop dun sa scope. Tapos, syempre, yung pinaplaplanuhan din nila yung hindi lang sila basta-basta bibili sa mga suppliers or vendor. Kailangan tumitingin din sila ng mga suppliers or vendor na kung saan meron ding makakamura sila at meron ding quality assurance na maganda yung product na bibilhin nila. So sa pagpili ay patingin ng mga supplier or vendor, din siya, kailangan may kontrata or kaya agreement na napagkasunduan na kung saan doon sa agreement na yon nakalagay yung time frame na kung saan halimbawang usapan nyo kailangan dun sa usapan nyo na time, kailangan may i-deliver nila ng tama at maayos yung items. Tsaka kaya napaka-importante sa pag-procure ng product and services yung kontrata between the two parties. So next naman, yung ano nga ba yung responsibilities ng isang project manager. So, si project manager, kumbaga, siya yung lead man. Siya yung, kumbaga, nagli-lead sa mga nagde-develop at nagmo-monitor ng mga certain tasks ng mga team niya. So, trabaho rin ni project manager na yung kumbaga yung project na ginagawa nila, kailangan yung project na ginagawa nila matapos siya at umano dun sa oras ng pag-aano nila sa oras na kung kailan na-estimate yung matatapos yung isang projects. So, ano rin, siya rin yung si project manager din, responsible sa pag-procure din responsible siya sa pag-procure ng mga products and services na gagamitin sa isang project. And then, siya rin yung, kumbaga, responsible sa pag-secure, sa pagtatanggap or pag-a-approve ng mga deliverables na mula sa mga project sponsor o kaya project sponsor or mga stakeholders. So, ano din, si project manager din, ano siya, kumbaga, responsible for communication, including status report. Siya rin yung responsible sa mga risk ng isang project. Tapos, siya rin yung kumbaga, making sure that the project is delivered in budget, on schedule, and within the scope. So, yun lang po.
And I'm the next reporter. I'm Christian L. De Los Santos, and I'm going to tackle about work authorization and risk monitoring. So, unahin natin yung work authorization. Ano nga ba yung work authorization? Sabi dito, a work authorization system is a formal procedure for sanctioning project to ensure that the work is done at the right time and in proper sequence. So, simply as, dinidisseminate nila yung mga work and job sa mga workers or project team in order na magawa nila yun sa tamang oras at magawa nila systematically yung mga bagay-bagay ng maayos at naayon sa panahon. Ang tatakal ko naman is yung risk monitoring. Ano nga ba yung risk monitoring? Ang risk monitoring is risk identification, monitoring, and resolution are key tools to such successful completion of a project. So, dito sa risk monitoring is, yun nga, monitoring. So, ina-analyze nila, inililist, at inire-record yung mga risk na na-encounter ng isang company. Ano nga ba yung risk? Ang risk, ito yung mga hadlang, pagsubok, at problema na na-encounter ng isang kumpanya. So, meron yung mga key elements ang risk monitoring. Unang-una dito is creating a central repository for risk information and associated documentation of risk items and resolution strategies. So, simply as, sa madaling salita, gumawa doon sila ng database na nandun lahat yung mga risk na na-encounter ng company, ng mismong company. So, next dito is, the next key element is summarizing information on a risk form. So, syempre, kung titignan nga naman ng isang, another worker, or isa sa mga project team, yung dati pang na-encounter na risk, syempre dapat yung easy way, yung maiintindihan niya at yung maayos. Kumbaga nakasummarize na siya, hindi niyo kailangan buong-buo yung mahihirapan pa siya. So, next naman is including a risk summary in the regular status meetings. So, di ba, syempre, nakaka-encounter tayo ng mga risk. Karaniwan sa mga project, dapat ino-open yung mga ganyan, yung mga about sa mga risk para makatulong ito sa mga incoming projects. Nakakatulong ito na maayos at ma-build up pa o ma-come up ng new ideas. So, last is providing a consistent and ongoing evaluation of risk item and development of risk strategies. So dito naman, yung ginagawa nila is to ina-identify na yung risk, i-evaluate nila, and then gumagawa sila ng another resolution.
Hi, I'm Katrina Francia Baluso from BSITIS 4B. And my topic is all about benefits of status of reviews. Benefit status of reviews. Parties must agree on the outcome of the review and any action item as a result of the review. The best way to reach agreement is to get both parties together in a formalized, planned manner. Then, isa ko pang report is project administration. Project administration is initially considered during the project planning phase, when the project plan is created. During the project execution phase, the project plan is implemented and modified as necessary. Project plan modification may result from such things as new estimates of work still be done, changes in scope functionality of end product, resources changes, and unforeseen circumstances. In addition to keeping the project plan current, project administration involves monitoring the various execution phase activities, monitoring risk, status reporting, and reviewing authorizing project changes as needed. The following is a list of documents and procedures that might be helpful in identifying the cause of project problems and taking action to eliminate them. First, corrective and preventative action procedures. Second, tracking time spent on the project activities by team members. Third, timesheet recording procedure. Fourth, status reporting by team members. And last, project status reporting to management. That's all. Thank you.
Hello everyone, I'm the next reporter. I'm assigned to discuss about what after risk assessment. The risk control process created in the project planning phase is baseline and fully maintained during project execution. Provided in the project planning section was one view of a risk model that can be used for this process. The key is not that formatted data, but the plan is developed baseline and keep current during the execution phase. It is important to mention that risks are not events that have occurred, but rather events that might occur that would adversely impact the project. The evolution of the risk control. As a project evolves through the various project management phase, the ability to define and specify the risk items increases. This is attributable to the fact that more is known about the project and the associated issues. During the execution phase, risks are more definitive and tangible resolution strategies emerge. This allows for the development of realistic contingency plans, including specific action plans. This action must be tracked. The actual format to the risk management plan should reflect these activities.
My main example of data I may refer to about risk making. Risk making are part of and contributes to the process of identifying risks and developing ways to approach. These are especially helpful on high risk or complex projects. Risk identification meetings. Ito yung process kung saan yung current risk ay nire-review at na-update. Executive review meetings. Yung summary ng top risk items for the project ay included sa executive project review meetings. Indicated dapat dito yung current status ng risk list, project status meeting, or on a regular basis, yung each member ng team ay kailangan i-report yung status ng mga assigned na responsibility sa kanila. The individual responsible for the risk should report to the project status group on the current status of project risk. Yung report ko pang isa yung ongoing risk identification. Risk must be prioritized to ensure that the key risks are addressed. Be careful not to identify so many minor risks. The major risks are buried. The basic ground rules for prioritization are risk event. A statement of what might happen in the project. Ito yung mga possible risks na pwedeng encounter ng project team while they're executing the project. Risk probability. How likely the event is to occur. Ito naman yung kung paano mag-start yung risk or occur yung sa risk project. Amount at stake. The severity of the consequence should the risk occur. Ito naman yung mga pwedeng ma-affecton o mawala dahil sa pag-occur na risk. As the project team works with the risk management process, they will get more proficient at knowing what should be considered as the top risk, which ones need the most attention, and to what extent the risk will impact the project. That's all.